It's Tuesday morning on the newspaper review right here at Prime Media TV. I am Ayo bringing you the news headline, and today I have quite a number of headlines to be reviewed with you. Um, Tinubu appoints Muhammad as NIA Director General and Ajayi as DSS boss. President Bola Tinubu has appointed new Director Generals for the National Intelligence Agency and the Department of State Services. In a statement on Monday, presidential spokesman Ajurin Gelale said Tinubu appointed Mohammed as the new NIA boss, while Adeola Ajayi has been appointed to lead the secret police. Gilali said the fresh appointments followed the resignations of Ahmed Rufai of the NIA and Yusuf Bichi of the DSS. Tinubu had retained Bichi and Rufai in June 2023 when he fired all service chiefs and heads of security agencies. And here is the development that we have recorded so far. As we all know, just last week, Friday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had sworn in a new Chief Justice of Nigeria, the person of Kekere Ekun, Kudirat Kekere Ekun. And here we are again. We have a new Director General for the DSS and the NIA. And we should also note that these people had tendered their resignation. So let's take it back from the very beginning. While the other ministries, the other MDAs were sacked in 2023 when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in as the new president of Nigeria, why did he leave these two people, Ahmed Rufai and Yusuf Bichi, to serve as the Director General of this of the DSS and the NIA? And we can see that if over time, even while they are there as the Director General of the DSS and the NIA, we've not recorded much development, especially as regards to our security sector. We see increase in security, and I believe this is what Nigerians are expecting. Nigerians has actually been calling out the retrenchment of the Director General of the NIA and the DSS, and I feel it is high time Nigerians should be applauding this development. But then the people who are now sworn in as the new Director General of the National Intelligence Agency and the Department of State Health, that is Adeola Ajayi and Mohammed, has been raising a lot of reactions from Nigerians. And some Nigerians are saying, why are they Yorubas and Hausas? Why haven't there why is there no representation from the Igbos and all of that? And as you can see this video, this is some of the members of the DSS who are rejoicing to the fact that their boss has been sacked by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we would like to say that I think it is not a good time to start rejoicing. As much as Nigerians has been looking forward to these people tendering their resignation, in which they did not, and here they are. And here is Mr. President who has retrenched them from working, and he has assigned a new Director General for these offices. We should understand that you cannot really say that something is working by mere retrenching somebody. You have to be able to test their capacity after some months in office when you can see the development. And from the reaction of those people, you can see that apparently while this while these people were still serving in office, apparently it wasn't really in favor of most of these members, because why should you be retrenched from your work and the people who once worked with you are rejoicing like this? So it is a proof that the leadership position they occupied since the time of President Muhammadu Buhari has not really been in favor of the people, or probably they've not been doing the right thing. I mean, is Ibrahim Traore not human? The president of Burkina Faso, at the time, he was supposed to leave the office, and a lot of a lot of the citizens of Burkina Faso are calling for him to come back. Why? Because he has impacted their life so much while he was there. So I think it is not a good time to start rejoicing like this. Let's see what they can do. Definitely, Nigerians want these people to resign, and thank goodness they have resigned. We cannot start rejoicing. We want to see what these people can do after some months in office. If we see their impact in the office, then we can start rejoicing that we have the good hands. And I said something earlier. Nigerians are asking questions as regards to why there is less representation of the Igbos, especially in lieu of the recent swearing in of the Chief Judge of Nigeria, Kudirat Kekereekun. She is a Yoruba. The predecessor was a Yoruba as well. The other person was from the north and all of that. So Nigerians are wondering, why is there less representation of the Igbos in the key areas of governance in Nigeria? So that is a question in the heart of Nigeria. Sorry, in the heart of Nigerians. And I think it is high time that some of these people give us explanations as regards to this. Now, let's also weigh how the new CJN was sworn in. I think it is a good time to weigh that and how these people were appointed. We believe that before you come to a conclusion that some persons will be the new Director General of an MDA, of a ministry, or whatever, there has to be a lot of scrutiny. They must have undergone certain process. You have reached out to the stakeholders involved. You pass the bill to the Senate. It will go through various readings for you to know if these people are the right people to appoint, weigh the things that they must have done in the past and all of that. You must have gone through all of these things. But there was really no much thing done, which especially in the part of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. She was sworn in. There was no first reading, second reading. There was no debate at the Senate as regards to if she is the right person to be sworn in. And considering the fact that she was an active CJN prior to the time that she was sworn in, you can't just swear someone in like that. And we just concluded like that as if nothing happened, and considering the fact that this is somebody who has an issue in the past. Once upon a time, this is the same person who served as the judge, who puts somebody at the at the fourth position in the first position in the Imo State government. We all know the story of Hope Zodima, how he got into position. This is the same person who had maneuvered that result, and we are wondering, is this what we want to be looking at in Nigeria now? So that is part of the many questions in the heart of Nigerians as regards to the new director generals that has been appointed to serve as the DG of the DSS and the NIA. So it is not a good time to rejoice. Let's await and see what their intelligence will be able to do, how they will be able to curb insecurity, if they would use it the right way or not. But then in another story, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala had made a statement that we thought of reacting to. She said, "We have politicians who believe that the best way to make their opponents look bad is to instigate insecurity." So we have a video where she said this. Let's quickly have this video, then we come back to our analysis. So please stay with us.
Actors leading partly to the difficult situation we have now. We have politicians who believe that the best way to make their opponents look bad is to instigate insecurity, making it look like they can't govern, regardless of whether this leads to loss of life and property of innocent Nigerians. This has to stop.
So that was the statement from Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Since yesterday and today, we've been considering some of the powerful statements that this woman has made, and she has highlighted something very vital. She said, "We have politicians who believe that the best way to make their opponents look bad is to instigate insecurity." Now, let's take this back. Let's take this back the memory lane. While Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was still in power and I believe part of those people who serve as the committee, the Economic Advisory Committee for Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And they came to a conclusion then that as that 2012, 2011, 2012 was actually the right time to consider removal of fuel subsidy so that Nigerians will not get to regret it on the long run. Then they concluded, as at that time, the fuel was still at 65 naira or thereabouts. Imagine if they had removed the subsidy then, we wouldn't be where we are today, because today in some places in Nigeria we get fuel for 1,000 naira, even at the at fuel stations. Some places they sell for 600 naira. That is only at NNPC. And mind you, NNPC now has been sold, as been NNPCL retail is has transferred ownership to OVH. And remember, this administration told us subsidy was gone, and we realized that they are still paying subsidy. They target dividends that they paid for, landing costs, and all of that. So according to NNPCL, they pay landing costs. That is, they slash the price of PMS for Nigerians to be able to access. And according to them, they said they are running at loss. Then President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I told them to use the dividend from 2023 to cater for the landing costs. Now that transfer of ownership had gone to OVH Energy, definitely they won't want to run at loss. So if they are getting PMS from the importers at 1,200 naira, this is the price that Nigerians will be buying it. So as at the time that GED was proposing fuel subsidy removal, this current administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, had raised a lot of people to come outside to agitate against the removal of fuel subsidy. And thousands, millions of Nigerians came out. A lot of Nigerians came out in their large numbers to protest against fuel subsidy. Do you see that? So this is still referencing what Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala had said. We still have a lot of people. Then it wasn't Bola Ahmed Tinubu's time. He instigated people to come out to protest, and now people are coming out to do the same thing, and you are kicking against it. You are appealing to Nigerians. Not even that there was no apology. It was more or less like a warning and a threat. So Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala had highlighted a vital problem here, that the fact that somebody is up there and the person is not doing what you want does not mean you have to begin to instigate insecurity against them. But looking at a lot of people who have been speaking against the policies of this administration, most of them have actually not been speaking of insecurity. They are only highlighting the policies that this administration is bringing in that is not in favor of Nigerians. And part of the many policies is the policy of fuel subsidy removal, and which Nigerians are finding it really difficult to understand whether or not they are still paying subsidy, which we have settled on this table that subsidy is still being paid, yet Nigerians are the ones suffering for it. So now that transfer of ownership has been taken away from NNPCL retail to OVH Energy, there's nobody to pay dividends or for landing costs and all of that. So do you think that Nigerians will one day wake up to be getting PMS from our fuel station at 8,500 naira per liter in Nigeria? If care is not taken, it will get to that point, because there's nothing like NNPCL being run by the Nigerian government any longer, or by our own NNPCL. It is now in the hands of the OVH Energy. They determine the price they want to sell their PMS. They determine how they want their supply to go. Do you see that? But this administration is talking about policies that they are putting in place to ensure that they bring out the CNG buses. How many CNG buses have you seen at work? Have you seen operating in Nigeria currently? So I don't think a lot of the other opposition, according to what Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said, I'm not sure a lot of the opposition party has been speaking concerning, they've actually not been instigating insecurity. What they've been doing more is talking about the policies by the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration that is killing and hurting Nigerians. So on this note, we would like to get Nigerians' reactions as regards to the stories that we have taken earlier. Some persons are rejoicing that their director generals had been retrenched. What are your thoughts on all of those stories, including what Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala had said, that the opposition party, what they feel like, what they do at the time that the other party, at the time that the ruling party is performing their thing, is to instigate insecurity. What are your thoughts concerning all of the story? Please do well to share them on all our social media platforms. On this note, we'll be going on a quick break, and as soon as we get back, we'll dive into another conversation. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.